Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Timothy here with Mana Rocks. That's the new channel name. Let me know if you like that or not. But anyway, we are going to be jumping into our first Rivals of Ixalan draft. I've done about 3 to 4 of these drafts, managed to sneak out one trophy, and unfortunately that I recorded, but the sound got so messed up that it was basically unwatchable. I had played a red-blue Pirates deck. It was super aggressive. Took out some opponents on turn 5 with it. It's pretty nice, but at any rate, Rivals is fun. It is a little bit of an upgrade to Triple Ixalan. It's still highly aggressive, kind of what you would expect as a follow-up to Triple Ixalan. You've got lots of aggro decks, and then also dinos, and there are a lot of bomb rares that are just super high quality. The rares are much better than they were in Ixalan, whereas the commons and uncommons are kind of the same power level. One thing I will say about this format is that there is tons of removal, and that makes having playing against bomb rares and commons and stuff like that, little aggressive decks, a little bit better because you can draft around that. So we'll see what we can get into. My inclination right now is that all of the aggro decks are good, and Dinos is a step below them, but not unplayable. Kind of the same as it was before. All right, let's see what we're jumping into here. So our rare is kind of a bust. This is a Diabolic Tutor, but it also lets you get a card out of your sideboard instead of your main deck. Doesn't really do anything. It's not a card you're ever going to play. I find it hard to believe you would ever sideboard this in either. Our uncommons are all decent. Cacophedon's a step below a lot of the other cards in this pack. Really weird card. When it takes damage, untap a permanent. Kind of strange, doesn't really do that much. On the other hand, there's Needletooth Raptor, which is a card I really want to try out. It's a 4-mana 2/2. When it's dealt damage, you just basically destroy a creature your opponent controls, deal 5. And then there's also the Vampire Forerunner, which is quite good if we end up vampires, but I'm not going to first pick a tribal payoff that I think is a step below Needletooth Raptor. I haven't played with this card. I had it in a 2-headed giant event, but we didn't actually get to use it at all. And what I'm looking to go with Needletooth Raptor are ways to deal like 1 damage to it and stuff like that. As far as commons go, I think Goblin Trailblazer is good. Buccaneer's Bravado is extremely good. It doesn't feel like it would be like a blowout, but it's actually just massive amounts of damage. All right, so a follow-up to Needletooth Raptor. This would be a good follow-up to the Forerunner had I taken that, but I don't know if Vampires is so good that I need to force it right away or not. The only card that goes exceptionally well with Needletooth Raptor is Fanatical Firebrand, which I'm not going to second pick. Hopefully it wheels. I do think I'm going to take Bafflin in, though. It's either that or the uncommons from this pack are much worse than the uncommons from the pack I opened. Bafflin End is a good removal spell for early game creatures, but if your opponent finds a way to deal with it, they get a 3/3 creature token out of the deal. Enter the Unknown I don't think is very good. It can set up some pretty fast draws, but I don't think it's that good. And then Imperial Ceratops, I actually think this card is great. 3/5 that gains you life when it takes damage is a little bit expensive, but Dino has a lot of ramp in it. I'm going to just take the solid removal spell here and hope that this Fanatical Firebrand or maybe one of the white cards comes back and just kind of see what's open and what's not. It does look like Vampires is fairly open. Unfortunately, as cool as this rare is, it's pretty bad and limited. You put it on an opponent's creature. When it dies, you get cards equal to the number or equal to that creature's power. And then you can basically play those cards for the rest of the game. Waternaught's great. Famished Paladin's actually really good. And then there's Charging Tuscadon. No, this is enough. Like, I'm seeing enough vampires that maybe I just want to snipe Famished Paladin, or I could stick with Dinos and take Charging Tuscadon. I think this card is good. I don't think it's bonkers or anything. Looking at the rest of the pack, Frilled Deathspitter's also a fine playable card. I'm going to just take Tuscadon here. It's not amazing, but it is good. All right, so seeing a lot of blue now. Resplendent Griffin is okay. Kind of funny looking art. Doesn't even look. A lot of people looks like a parrot with little gremlin arms photoshopped onto it. Well, glad we didn't move into vampires in that last pack because I wouldn't be really taking anything relevant to go with it. Expel from Orazca is nice. Like, keep in mind, I'm not really settled on colors right now. These blue cards are decent. These merfolk are kind of mediocre. I think I'm just going to take Trailblazer here. Good little aggressive creature. I do like having 2 drops in my deck. It's either that or like one of these 2 cards, and I don't know that I'm going to be blue-white. I mean, I easily could. This card is fine. Gets a counter whenever you attack, but only after you've reached 10 permanents. I'm going to stick to red right now until I see a reason to move otherwise. All right. Well, there are some cards here. See, Azur's Gateway interests me. It's a mythic rare. I kind of want to try it out just to see if it's good. Not because of the backside. I don't think the backside's super relevant, but because I think the front side's already good enough that you would play it in nearly any deck, just to improve your card quality. You pay 1, and then you draw a card, exile a card from your hand, and then it flips later on in the life. I guess it gains you 5 life at some point, but if I'm not taking that, I could take Forerunner of the Coalition to go with Trailblazer, I guess, and maybe move into Pirate, see if some of those Bravados wheel, but I want to try the rare out, just for the sake of science. I don't know if it's going to be good or not yet. Follow that up with, I guess Firebrand's good now. There's also Tillinelli's Crown, which pretty decent with both of these guys. Firebrand's nice. I don't necessarily have to play white either. Keep that in mind. Blazing Hope is awful. Gleaming Barrier is a card I like better as sideboard than main deck. I've been fairly unimpressed with this. The difference between this and the Pirate that does the same thing is that A, the Pirate is a pirate, which matters, and B, this card actually never seems to die because your opponent's not going to use removal on your 0-4 wall, and they're not going to just attack into it unless they're getting ahead. I'll take Firebrand here. All right, so we are getting some of these Bravados back. Actually, we're not at the point where we're wheeling yet. I've got 2 Pirates, 2 Dinos. And it looks like I'm going to take another red card here. The question is, what do I take? Bravado is very, very good with Pirates, and we are seeing Pirates fairly open, whereas Stampede and Horncrest I think is going to be good, but mediocre most of the time. And I'd rather take another low curve card. I don't mind Freebooter, but it's more filler material. All right, Bravado it is. Follow that up with, I could take a 2-drop in Raptor Companion, or I could take Freebooter here. I'm kind of leaning towards going more... I mean, I know for a fact I'm playing red. I don't 100% know that I'm playing white yet. So I think I'm just going to take Freebooter. Adds another pirate to my deck, makes my Bravado better. Traveler's Amulet's always a nice pickup, but I don't think I'm going to take it here. I mean, this is a sign, right? Oh, my rare. Haha, hey. You know, there's a reason this is still in the pack. I like Evolving Wilds, but I do think Bravado is great, and I don't really like this little guy. He's a great mana sink in a game where you're already ahead and you know it's not going to die, but I don't like dumping 3 mana into something that's just going to die to a combat trick. There's a lot of first strike, too. I could pick up Evolving Wilds here, but Bravado is that good. Follow that up with, I guess since I'm drafting more Pirates now, maybe I lean into Pirates and take, like, one of these 2. Dinosaur Hunter is marginally better than Grasping Scoundrel, I think, so I'll take it. It also has a little bit of upside. I think Soul of the Rapids is playable. All right, follow that up with, I guess I'll just take another Bravado. Pitiless Plunder I don't think is going to be that good most of the time. Whenever a creature I control dies, I make a treasure. I guess that can help me splash some off-color stuff, but I'll take the 3rd Bravado, I guess. And it looks like we definitely want to be Pirates now. All right, I don't mind this Freebooter here. Could also take Sailor of Means. The blue Pirates are decent. This can splash as well, but Freebooter does the same thing and has better power distribution. All right, and we have Sailor of Means anyway. And Gleaming Barrier, which is playable. So the only pick I kind of regret is not taking the Coalition Runner, the black pirate that fetches up another pirate, but we've got a decent number of pirates already. Looks like 4 pirates. We're just looking to get a couple more here. Actually, a good number more. Unfortunately, this pack does not help us out that much. So what could we take here? If we feel like we're going to be black, I could definitely just take Dusk Legion Zealot as just a fine playable card. Pirate's Pillage is okay, but I feel like I need it less when I have Azor's Gateway. Gateway kind of going to do the same thing as this. I mean, this does put 2 permanents on the battlefield if I end up like needing to ascend or anything. And then my rare is a bust that really doesn't do anything. Shake the Foundations. This has some matchups where I bet it'd be pretty good. It also works with my Needletooth Raptor. Maybe that's a reason to take it here. Could also take Slippery Scoundrel, which is a blue pirate. That becomes very good later in the game, but not amazing early in the game. Kind of like the idea of just taking Zealot. I think it's more likely I play Black Pirates than Blue Pirates based on how the last pack went. And I think this card's just fine in pretty much any deck. Alright, and we are seeing what's going to be open this pack. It's going to be Vampires, right? Granted, the person passing to us took a rare anyway, so we'll have that much information. Alright, no great pirate cards here. Arterial Flow, unfortunately, not what I want. Raging Regisaur. Branch into the fourth color here. Raging Regisaur and Needletooth Raptor is an insane combo, so maybe I take that up here just because there is nothing else I really care about in the pack. And I can splash Regisaur off the back of double Freebooter, possibly Sailor Means Gleaming Barrier if those things work out. I do think Regisaur is very good. I'm just looking to get a bunch of aggressive pirates here. That's what I really want to be doing, but packs aren't working out. There we go. That's a card. That is a card. I would not mind this Fathom Fleet Border coming back, or Frilled Death Spitter, but Dire Fleet Netbreaker. All your attacking pirates get +2/+0. Very good. Just turns these into things that your opponent basically has to trade with. And Awakened Amalgam, I don't think there are going to be very many decks that want to play this in the format. Has power and toughness equal to the number of lands you control with different names. Very weird card. Mausoleum Harpy's okay. Ooh, Moment of Craven's actually pretty good. But I think I'm going to take this Dire Fleet Breakneck thingamabobber. More pirates here, but I'm going to take the removal spell, possibly the best common in the set. I think most people would agree. If they disagree that this is the best common, they would probably say it's one of the best commons. Vampire's looking pretty well open here. If I get Corsair or Grasping Scoundrels back, I'll be pretty happy, and I might even play this other freebooter, but I like adding a good removal spell to my deck here. Vampire, Vampire, Vampire. As tempting as it is to take the other Raging Regisaur, I think I'm going to take Fathom Fleet Border here. Make my pirate cards a little bit better. So I don't think I'm playing blue or white. Blue's still a possible option, and we'll have to think about Raging Regisaur. But I like having the little aggressive guy. Raging Regisaur is good. But I want to make sure I have enough things to justify playing these 3 Bravados. So loading up on Pirates seems great. That, and I don't have a lot of 3-drops. It's kind of a weird curve here. Alright, so now we got kind of a do-nothing pack for us. Pirates Pillage is just okay. Again, I don't think it's amazing. I wish this was a pirate, not a merfolk. I like Recover, but I think I'm going to take Shake the Foundations and keep it as a sideboard card. I've noticed there are a lot of merfolk and vampire decks that just go off by having a bunch of little tokens on the battlefield. And this is not only good, but also exceptionally good with Needletooth Raptor, so I'm going to put that in the sideboard, and I'm not really passing up on much anyway. Gross. This is just insane. Thankfully for us, there's an Impale, a very late Impale, too. I'm going to need Pack 3 to be very good for me. God, if I had moved into Vampires, I think I would have had a bad Pack 1, but this pack is insane. Or this whole pack has been insane for Pirates. I'm sorry, Vampires, not Pirates. I wouldn't mind Dinosaur Hunter here, but Impale is good removal. Stone Quarry to help me splash Baffling End. Death Spitter, Dinosaur Hunter, Sun-Collared Thing. Could take Traveler's Amulet here too, but I think I just need a pirate, right? Mo Pirates, Mo better. This is a very subpar pirate, though. But the more the better. And Traveler's Amulet would help with Raging Regisaur, which I don't even know that I'm playing this Regisaur right now. Yeah, I like just stocking up on pirates. Sphinx's Decree, I don't really want even to have the rare. I'm going to take Tillanawi's Crown now. This can be a pretty aggressive card. Again, very good with Needletooth Raptor, and just fine if I manage to like stick it on a Trailblazer. No, actually, you don't want to stick it on a Trailblazer. Stick it on something that doesn't die to it, right? Yeah, I'm not impressed with it, but we'll take it. Now I think I'm taking Recover. This is good in Vampire deck. It's playable outside of a Vampire deck. Maybe I want to take this, actually. The chances of me actually playing Recover aren't great. Although just getting a creature back, trading something off, and then drawing a card seems fine. I only have 1 Vampire in the deck, so I'm not too in on the extra part of the flow there. Amalgam still seems bad here, so I'm going to take Mausoleum Harpy. This card's fine. Not good, but fine. Ooh, Grasping Scoundrels. I like having the little 1-drop there. And we get an Arterial Flow anyway, which I might actually play. Since I don't have a lot of card draw in the deck, you got to get your card advantage somewhere, and making your opponent discard 2 is fine. Plus, combo. Alright, pack 3, going to need to be real good for us with Pirates. Rootbound Crag, not quite what I'm looking for. But Lightning Strike is kind of perfect. On the wheel, I would like for Deadeye Tormentor come back, and Fathom Fleet Cutthroat actually seems pretty good with Fanatical Firebrand. I can even put Telenali's Crown on an opponent's creature. Can use it as removal on 1 toughness guys. Lightning Strike's perfect, though. Still the best card in Kaladesh. Kaladesh? What? What's this set called? Ixalan. I don't think I'm actually going to end up playing Regisaur, but might board it in against decks that have a lot of 1 toughness creatures. Argyle's Bloodfast. That's not quite what I'm looking for here. I would love to just pick up a Pirate's Cutlass here, but I'm going to take Fire Cannon Blast. More removal is better. I don't know that I'm playing Recover. Yeah, I have decent removal, just not particularly strong creatures. That could change here. Maybe another 1-drop, couple more 2-drops. Treasure Map. Ooh. Alright, here's a tough decision. Do we take Treasure Map for the kind of late game stuff, or do we take just a good aggressive 2-drop Pirate? Till now he's Knight, not what I want here. Cobbled Wings, not what I want. And Heartless Pillage is kind of whatever. It's probably better than Arterial Flow. In fact, I know for sure it's better than Arterial Flow. I might just wield this, though. I think my deck wants the Fathom Fleet, but Treasure Map is also just very good most of the time. It's decent with Azor's Gateway, which I do think I'm going to play this, try it out at least. Huh. Right now I have 1, 2, 3 2-drops. I think I just have to take the 2-drop. I think that's what I need the most. Alright, follow that up with, I like Stormfleet Arsonist. Rummaging Goblin could benefit from being a pirate. And Deadeye Tormentor is the only other option for me here, which I don't hate this card, but I do like Arsonist, actually. Ooh, Fell Flagship. Also Pirate, Pirate, Pirate. I would love Headstrong Brute here, but I'm going to actually take Fell Flagship. It's not an amazing attacker or blocker on its own, but the fact that it gives all pirates +1/+0 is pretty sweet. Good with any evasive pirates that I have. Not that I have many, but do like me the Flagship. Alright, that's a late Snap and Sailback. And a Deeproot Warrior. Alright, so here's an option. I could take Raider's Wake, which I've liked quite a bit in an aggressive deck, or I could just take Fathom Fleet Cutthroat, which I've already mentioned is pretty good with a couple other cards. Also a Pirate. I think that's going to be kind of the deal breaker for me there. Riggin Runner, is that what I want here? I don't mind Riggin Runner. It's either that or Frenzied Raptor. Riggin Runner is a pretty decent card, especially since I have 2 other 1-drops that can get in there. It does get the benefit of Fell Flagship, and it's really good with Dire Fleet Neckbreaker. Yeah, pretty happy with that coming this late. Dang. Okay, so there are some decent pirate cards coming around. I might get that other Heartless Pillage back and definitely play it over Arterial Flow, which I don't think I'm playing anyway since I'm making cuts here. Wily Goblin I'm not interested in, so I think this is going to be an easy March of the Drowned. I always love having this card in my pirate deck. Just helps you get some extra value in the late game. Alright, Deadeye Tormentor came back. Is that better than another Fathom Fleet Cutthroat? I think so, given that I have a lot of 4s and I'm probably going to look to cut one anyway. So, Deadeye Tormentor. Nothing here. I guess I'll take Prying Blade in the off chance that, I don't know, my opponent is weak to artifacts? I don't know. I don't think Telenali's Crown is going to work out. Just doesn't seem great here. Could definitely shave on a Bravado, but Bravado is very good. I'm going to cut this Mausoleum Harpy. Probably keeping the Tuscadon as another late game threat, and Arsonist definitely staying in. Black, 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 black. Do I want Heartstopper or Heartless Pillage? I feel like Pillage is going to be good against certain decks, and I feel like Heartstopper is just going to be mediocre. Yeah, I like Pillage here. Might not play it. Probably won't play it. Foil Forest. Another Heartless Pillage. and Blind and Fog. All right, so pack 3 worked out fairly well for us. Not amazingly, but fairly well. And we have 28 playables here, so we're going to have to cut some stuff. I am going to cut 1 Bravado, I think. I don't want to get completely trashed on just having combat tricks and no creatures. And the curve looks okay. I want to play 16 lands, but I also have a lot of 4 and 5 drops. Heartless Pillage can come out for right now. I like Azur's Gateway here. Firebrand, Dinosaur Hunters are kind of whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1 or 2 drops seems okay. Fathom Fleet Border, it's gonna be pretty good, I think. I could cut 1 freebooter. I don't have a lot to ramp into, so it's kind of whatever. I mean, I'm not into like cutting all my pirates here, but I think it's fine. And then 1 more cut. Could just cut the other freebooter or perhaps Cutthroat. Like, this card's fine, but when my removal's already good, I don't need to like go for super crazy combos or anything. And this keeps my pirate count at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I kind of like this. And my removal spells are Lightning Strike, Impale, Bombard, Fire Cannon Blast. And that's basically it, but 4 really solid removal spells here. Pretty happy with that. Plus, I really like Fire Cannon Blast. It's a good way to, even if you have to lose a guy, even if you 2-for-1 yourself, it's a good way to get off like a Colossal Dreadmaw or something like that. And then Fell Flagship and Dire Fleet Netbreaker as pump spells. Needletooth Raptor has like maybe 1 combo in my deck. Doesn't do that much. Anything I really want to play out of the sideboard. I like Recover, but it's much worse when I have March of the Drowned. I don't think I need 2 of those effects. And Buccaneer's Bravado is good. And do I want Raging Regisaur? As good as it is with the Needletooth Raptor, I think it's going to be mediocre. But if we do play against creature or decks with a lot of 1 toughness creatures, I have 3 really good answers to it. This just picks something off. Shake the Foundations picks off multiple things. Raging Regisaur can pick off things over time. Mausoleum Harpies, decent against certain decks too. So I think this is what we're going to play. And it should be pretty easy 8 and 8, I think, for our colors. There's a strong push towards red, though. But do I really want to go 9-7? I have a double black card. I do have 2 1-drop black cards. Granted, March of the Drowned is not really technically a 1-drop since you're not going to play it on turn 1. At least it doesn't matter for mana. They suggest 9 and 7 as well. Kind of leaning towards 8 and 8. Not great mana. As far as treasure goes, I don't think I have a lot that actually makes treasure. If one thing that makes treasure, so that's okay. All right, so we're playing Black-Red Pirates. We'll see if it works out for us, and I hope to see you guys there. I am intrigued by this card. I hope it works out. Like I said, I'm not looking to flip this card. The backside doesn't actually even do that much for me, but it's a good way to stop myself from flooding out in the late game, so this makes me a little happier that I picked up a 2-drop instead of Treasure Map, because it kind of does the same thing Treasure Map does. It's probably worse than Treasure Map, but let's try it out, right? I do like to have some sort of card advantage in decks like this. But anyway, that's my pirate deck. We'll go ahead and take a snapshot real quick, and see you guys here in just a minute. Thanks for watching. Alright guys, Timothy here for round 1 of this Rivals of Ixalan draft. I am on the play, but I don't have a particularly good hand. I could draw any number of my 1 or 2 drops and it'll go a little bit better. Plus, Needletooth Raptor can be a 2-for-1 later in the game. I think I'm going to play, even though I don't think this is a very good keep. So if it doesn't work out, then so be it, right? Just recognizing it's not particularly great here. Alright, opponent going down to 6. They scry to the bottom. That's fine for them. They don't know that I'm not going to be playing anything for a while. Alright, well, there's Bravado number 2. Not looking very good in my hand. Alright, I think I'm going to just run this Deadeye Tormentor out here. That because it can help Bravado trade for a creature if they play a blocker here or something. Opponent opted in main phase looking for a land. And they scryed to the bottom. So presumably scryed a land to the, or scryed a card to the bottom and then hit a land. Well, you're late. That would have been fantastic. Alright. Tormentor coming in for 2. Let's start chipping in, and then I'll play Needletooth Raptor. This is just a card that can basically freely attack past my opponents. Also uses my mana more efficiently. Then we'll see whether we draw a land or not next turn. If we do, playing Arsonist ought to be pretty good against an opponent who... Well, I guess they haven't missed a land drop. Well, they're probably Merfolk, but just playing this as an aggressive little beater. I mean, this card's good. Quite good, actually. And this might be a time where they want to go ahead and trade for Needletooth Raptor. Because they have no other creature that dies to it. If I were them, I'd probably snap off that block on Needletooth. Ooh, they're just going to take it. So now they have to sack a permanent. That's going to hurt them quite a bit, I think. Going to either set them back on a land or make them lose their creature. I imagine they're just going to lose an island here. Youch. And if I draw a land, I can go like double Bravado or something. Let's see what they do this turn. Ooh, that's fine. That means they're probably attacking this turn, though. So, hit me for 3 and draw another card. I imagine they're still looking for land here. I don't have a way to kill that, so they're going to draw extra cards off of it. But I'm pretty far ahead. Thrashing Brontodon. Alright, well, if they go for a bad block here, I can actually kill them by going Bravado here, Bravado here. That would be 16 damage. And I don't think they're incentivized to attack or block Raptor. So what I can do here is play Bravado. I guess I could just attack with this 4/4 Needletooth Raptor. I don't think they block either of them. That puts them down to 6, and then I could just play Fathom Fleet Firebrand. If they block Needletooth Raptor, I get to just trade it for that thing. Yeah, I like having the extra pirate on board to make my Bravados better, because being able to spread that out across 2 pirates is good. Alright, they just take 6, which is nice. Going down to 8. And they're incentivized... Actually, they pretty much have to attack with a creature, otherwise they lose this. Just going to let them hit me here. Could fall behind if they manage to stabilize. Like, if they play 2 creatures here, that's pretty good. I just have to get 1 pirate through next turn, because then I could actually use both of these on the same pirate. Make one a 4/4 with double strike, basically. Not really Merfolk. Ooh, that's good. I do think this helps me win the game here, though. Yeah, I just have to get 1 pirate through, like I said. They're probably not going to block this anyway. Or they might. I don't know, we're at the point in the format where people are playing around Bravado, which makes it very good. So I imagine block, like block or something like that. Maybe double block this. Yeah. Alright, so I've got this turn. My opponent kind of using their resources to find lands, and then this thing eating one of their lands was pretty good for me. I drew fairly decently there, too. Yep, and then I go Bravado, Bravado. This kind of sucks because I have to show them both the Bravados, but that's okay. And then make this 4 power, and it has double strike. Alright, that should do it. Cool, so playing against blue-green stuff? Pirates, maybe? Pirates, Pyro Dinos? I don't know. They showed us a 1 toughness creature. I guess this is fairly safe to bring in most of the time. Also makes first strike a little bit better, makes it easier to kill their creatures. Yeah, I think I'm going to actually bring this in, although... What am I bringing out? I guess Rampage and Regisaur is pretty good against them. My mana's not very good for that, though. Raptor was okay. Another thing, too, is that my removal is just good enough that Shake the Foundations doesn't really do a lot in that department. Dinosaur Hunter looked okay there. Bravado probably going to be a little bit worse on the draw because I'm going to have to do a lot of chumping and stuff. I guess I'm going to just keep Shake the Foundations out for now until I see maybe another couple 1-toughness creatures. Like, Corsair by itself might not be enough to bring in a card like that. It's fairly safe, though. It does cantrip, so kind of whatever. If I ever have Needletooth Raptor out when I play it, get to actually just blow up another big creature. It's awkward turn 1 play. Still going to keep, though. Maybe I draw another 1-mana guy. That would be great. Or a 5-mana guy. The thing about drawing this is it at least makes sure I can cast Impale if I need to, but I'm going to run out Riggin Runner. In case I draw, I don't know, a 2-drop raid creature, which I don't think I have in my deck. Alright, nothing from the opponent's good. Get in my 1 little bit of damage. And opponent not having a turn 2 play is decent. It means that my hand's like not going to fall behind super significantly. Alright, 3-drop here. Alright, well that's tedious, but nothing I can do about it. Where were you a turn ago? Well, we're going to play you, and that lets me hold up Bravado on blocks if that's what I want to do. Trade a Bravado for a 2-2. Card's not as good. This would have been great on turn 1 because I would have gotten in an extra point of damage and had a 2-2 first striker. As is, this doesn't even attack that well into my opponent. Alright, they are attacking. Means they intend to play something that blocks, I assume. That or they just don't intend to block. Okay, what you got? Also, notice Shake the Foundation would kill both my creatures here. Silvergill Adept, and they're going to play the Stalker. Alright, well, I've seen enough to actually bring in Shake the Foundations now. They just showed me 2 more 1-toughness creatures. Yep. Pretty strong here. Alright, the Swamp's nice, and I get to play this 3-3. I'm just going to jam with both my creatures. They can't really block Runner, and if they want to trade, like, Silvergill for Scoundrel, that's fine. It's not going to do much else just sitting back. They could also just take 3 and hope to overpower me with what they have, which looks like what they're doing. Oh, first strike damage, right. Alright, this 3-3 is decent on this board. Silvergill Adept, I always feel like I'm super far behind when my opponent has it. Just get to add to the board in a deck that cares about the tribal synergy and also just replaces itself. It's almost like just a free card to put on the battlefield. Next turn, I have access to Bravado plus Impale if I need to. Ideally, I'd like to just play Arsonist, but if something happens to Freebooter, I'm taking a pretty big hit here. Counter here, counter here. Okay. So they're probably only going to attack with those 2 then. I don't think I want to take 6. I think I'm going to trade this off. Alright, so my opponent is Merfolk. They just didn't have any Merfolk. I could get completely destroyed by River Herald's Boon here. But let's try to trade off for the evasive one. Alright, that wasn't terrible. Fire Cannon Blast also pretty good. So what happens if I attack with both? Then I play Arsonist. And if not, I go like Bravado to save one of my guys. Like if I attack with this, I have to use Bravado to kill off Mystic. And if I use Bravado, I can't use Arsonist. But I think this is good enough. Can kind of block with this. They might go block, block. Yeah, I'm not blocking them, so let's go ahead and jam. They saw 2 Bravados next turn, so maybe they would be a little reluctant. They could easily have just like a bounce spell in hand or something. Yeah, this is fine. Where's Bravado better? It's going to go on... I think I just want to get the 1-3 out of the way. Alright, I get to keep my 1-1 and get that off the board. I could Fire Cannon Blast this instead of impaling it. That lets me keep up my treasure token. I don't mind that. So, opponent has more cards than me, but no board presence, and I have an answer to the next thing they can play. Plus, Arsonist is just going to be decent here. Kopala. Warden of Waves. Okay. And something else, and a Corsair. I'm willing to bet Kopala blocks this, which would be a little annoying. What else can I do? Maybe they don't block at all. It is just 1 damage. Do want to get this Arsonist down, though. Kopala blocks, it's kind of annoying. Yeah, I'm just throwing away my guy here. But it's okay. Do get a 4-4 on board. Just gotta hope they can't particularly answer it. Get rid of one of their lands here. Kompala does mean that if I try to impale it or something, that I'm gonna have to pay 6 mana for this, but only if it targets a merfolk. Kamena, of course. Why wouldn't you have Kamena? Well, Kamena's getting impaled very quickly, I can tell you that. It will cost me 6 mana to impale it, so I won't be able to play anything else. I'm also falling behind in the race with this thing, but get to at least attack with Arsonist next turn. Ooh, Fell Flagship too. It's going to be good the turn after. Unfortunately, Kapala does make it so that I have to use my whole turn to impale. So we will do that. Hopefully they can't protect it. They do still have 1 card in hand that they haven't played. If they have like Dive Down or something, then I'm in a lot of trouble. Doesn't look like it though. Alright, let's start racing now. Doesn't take too much for either of us to pull like really far ahead in this race. That's okay. It doesn't add too much pressure to the board. It is a threat I can't really do anything about. That's a good draw. In fact, that's just better to play here than my other card because it threatens to basically win the game on its own next turn if they don't block it, and it still tramples over for 1,000,000 if they do. I just gotta hope they don't draw a removal spell or something that can just straight up chump this. Or trump it, I should say. Also, this is going to attack for 5 next turn. I think they're sandbagging a land, but they also have one other card that they're thinking about right now. Mana is a beating. I lost to this during pre-release. This plus the Merfolk that lets you draw a card whenever one of your Merfolks hits. And I actually like Kapala better when you have something like this to protect. And Kapala did more than it seems like it's doing. It made it so I couldn't play Fell Flagship and Impale on the same turn, which is relevant. Because I would have gotten an extra point of damage in and still had the capability to crew this with the Tuscadon. Huh. If they attack with just this, then I think they're afraid of me trampling over or something. Yeah, they don't have anything. Alright, we are going to jam with both creatures. I could be running into a flash creature here, but at least that trades. Oh, that was dumb. I should have played Flagship first. I think they're going to go block and block. I mean, this isn't bad for me. I still deal 4 to them. Because I still have to assign lethal damage, and then whatever is left over gets doubled. And now I go Trailblazer plus Flagship. And because of the +1 power off of Flagship, I can actually crew the Flagship. Granted, I can't block this anyway. So this is looking pretty good. They have 3 cards in hand, and we got it. Nice. Some pretty timely top decks there. But good removal spells. Impale, Fire Cannon Blast, did the job. And our opponent with the surprise Merfolk deck. Look what they played this game as opposed to last game. They just played what, 6 merfolk, 7 merfolk, something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, a couple rares. All right, good game, Buvice. See you guys in round 2. We're back for round 2. Thanks for joining me. We are playing Rivals of Ixalan with a black-red aggro deck. Pirates. Ooh, I really like having Scoundrel, and let's see if Azar's Gateway pulls its weight this game. I imagine it won't be doing much until later in the game since it sinks up mana and I want to be playing all my lands, but it's decent. It also kind of sucks it doesn't discard it exiles, so I can't like set up this March of the Drowned, but being on the play with little 2-power pirate seems nice to me. If I can curve into another pirate or something, that'd be pretty great. Getting in for 2 damage right away is pretty sweet. Ooh, Lightning Strike backup is nice. See if they have a dual shot. Or shock. Which I highly doubt since shock's not in the set. Alright, Gateway coming down. Having the March of the Drowned makes me want to trade this off quite a bit, but I might just Lightning Strike anything they play here. And it looks like my opponent is reading Azor's Gateway. Alright. Yeah, I kind of like the idea of just Lightning Striking anything my opponent plays. Just keep getting damage in and then use the Gateway here. Yeah, especially since this just trades for my guy. Although it will kind of suck if my opponent plays like a Frenzied Raptor or something and I don't have a way to deal with it. I do think I just go right away, pitch a land. And it's draw first, then exile. That's nice. I like the Firebrand here. Yeah, I do think I just Lightning Strike here. Sure. Getting another 2 damage. Firebrand can make it so that I can trade off for like a 3 toughness guy next turn if that's what I really need to do. Ideally, they just play a little 1 toughness guy, or I draw a land and I can use this neck breaker. Start breaking some necks or whatever. Still know what their second color is. Red-white. Alright, so they're playing the de facto best deck of Ixalan. Let's see if it's still the best deck. Ooh, an 0-3. And this thing, Tillinelli Summoner. This is a scary card. When it attacks, you may pay X in red and create X 1/1s. They sack on end step, or they exile on end step, but if you have the City's Blessing, you just get to keep them. So I think what's going to happen here is I'm going to go Firebrand, POW. And I can't really attack into this thing. Nice. I see what my opponent's doing here, though. They're going for a super low curve deck that's going to ascend quickly. That turns this into much more of a threat. If I go Firebrand, kill this, I can activate Gateway. I don't really want to use any of the cards my Gateway has, though. I could also just bombard this thing. See if they want to trade here. I don't really like the idea of using Bombard on an 0-3, though. So Firebrand can come on in. Then I'll debate whether to use this or not. I don't really want to get rid of any of the cards in my hand. If I draw a land, I'll just get rid of the land. I guess it just improves the quality of my hand, though, at the very least. Another thing I could do here is shoot this for 1, attack for 2, let them block, and then play March of the Drowned, get this back and shoot that for 1, kill their board. I don't think I need to do that yet. But I do think I need to get this Summoner off the board. And if I draw a land, I can actually attack through the Snubhorn with the boost from Direfleet Netbreaker, so I don't mind where this is going. Question is, do I actually use Azor's Gateway or not? Yep, that's fair. I think I do. At the very least, the card I draw is either going to be better than one of these or worse, and I can just exile that. All right, Pterodon Knight's probably going to hit him Bombard here. If it's a land, I'll just pitch a land. So 3 humans so far, and 2 of which benefit from having dinos. So I like having this in the deck then. This is so good later on, but I do think it's the worst card in my hand right now, since I'm not going to be casting it for a while. And Pterodon Knight comes down. Land off the top. Looked like my opponent was debating attacking with their 0-3 for a second. Hut. Oh, that's not terrible. Do I need to bombard right away? I can still set up that play I was talking about last turn where I go attack, let him block with like Pterodon Knight or something, or let him block with Sentry. And then trade off. I could just play Firefleet Firebrand and activate Gateway. Or I could just bombard Pterodon Knight. Problem with bombard and Pterodon Knight is if they play another big creature, I'm going to have a lot of trouble getting through it. But I think this is good enough. Or maybe I just want to build out my board and take 3. It's not really too far off. Then I at least get to attack with both and set up some sort of play next turn. Get in some actual damage. I do think I just want to bombard here, though. And just pass the turn. Draw in a land there would have been great for the Neckbreaker. But it is what it is. My opponent's a good ways from ascending with this. Hopefully it's either off the board or not super relevant by the time we get there. Although a 3-3 is good against my deck. Bishop Soldier. Alright, would not mind trading for that one. And another Tillinelli's Knight. Aggressive red-white. Land 1 left in hand from the opponent. And I'm 100% fine doing some trades here, like I said. Like, if I attack, they could just block. I play Firefleet FFF and tapped into block Bishop Soldier. Cool. Alright, so land makes it so if I play Neckbreaker and I attack with this, it at least either eats this or trades for one of these two. So, easy Neckbreaker here. Neckbreaker doesn't block as well, so they might just take 4 and then hit me back. But I'm hoping they just trade it off for something or throw Snubhorn in front of the way. They could also have the like +2/+2 and gain 2 life or the Vampire Zeal. Either of those would be pretty good against me. 1 mana 4/1. Vampire Zeal would work on Bishop Soldier because of the first strike. And the +2/+2 and gain 2 life would let them kill my guy. So either of the 1 mana white combat tricks does the trick here. They might have it too, because they thought a while about attacking with this Snubhorn Sentry. So kind of anticipating them maybe having it. If they make this trade, I'm okay with it. Cool. I'm not blocking anything. Granted, if they attack with Snubhorn, I might just like offer this trade for a trick or something. I could actually just offer this trade anyway, because I do have March of the Drowned plus another play. Kind of like that, actually. Although, if I play March of the Drowned on Firebrand and another Pirate, it's going to be pretty good. But I do think I want to just stay ahead here. Is that right? Do I really want to get blown out by a combat trick? They could still have it. I don't really want them gaining a billion life either, so let's go and make this trade. Or at least trade this for a combat trick. Ooh, Hammer Skull's nice. I could push this in my opponent's favor. Alright, I like playing these two creatures this turn, especially if this draws me a land or something. Not that I get to block very well or anything, but the ideal draw here is a swamp. Opponent is at 7 permanents with 1 in hand. Alright, I mean, that's fine. I'm probably just going to loot that away and see what I get. Oh, actually, I wouldn't be able to do that. So, think I'm actually going to play this turn then. Could keep it in hand for next turn, but we'll see. Opponent does get to just jam with this Hammer Skull. Hopefully I draw a removal spell for that. A non-impale removal spell, since I can't cast Impale. And then we'll probably March of the Drowned back Neckbreaker plus Firebrand. This is a cool little matchup. Aggressive dinos against aggressive pirates. I think this is going to help me in the long run here, but we do need to get to a stable point. Three, 4. Not quite what I want to see here, but it's pretty good. Swamp? Alright, Swamp's good. Swamp lets me go Neckbreaker, attack for 4. And what's the other card I want to get back? Firebrand? Or Grasping Scoundrels. This attacks as a 3 power guy. This attacks as a 4 power guy, but I wouldn't be able to play it this turn. Okay. Well, I'm 100% casting this. It's going to be on Neckbreaker, and I feel like Firebrand might be the better one to get here. Yeah, Firebrand has a little bit more utility here. And I can play both of these. Also, Gateway just lets me loot away any more lands for the rest of the game here, so we'll play Neckbreaker. Unfortunately, this Zealot's not going to do too much. Got to be careful about having this die mid-combat when I'm attacking with a bunch of pirates. It's an orc. Looks like a human. Not to be orcist or anything like that for all the orcs watching, but does look like a human. Play this. Hoping they trade here, but they probably won't. Once they hit 10 permanents, they're going to be pretty far ahead of me. Because my creatures only trade when I'm attacking with them, whereas theirs trade on defense or attacks. Yeah, and I kind of anticipate them just not blocking here. If they play something like Queen's Commission or they just drop 2 more permanents, they get to just smash for 8 damage. Fell Flagship would be pretty good here. It is nice that they can't really play a 1 toughness creature here, which they probably have some amount of. Although I think we've only seen 1. I like this deck. Tillanawi Summoner. This card's scary. I'm glad I have answers to it. But... Alright, they played a land to get closer to Ascend, presumably. Probably attacking with both of these. Oh, no attacks. I'm happy to trade this off for anything that comes up. And Dinosaur Hunter is actually pretty good against them. I do think I'm just going to play it rather than loot it away. Let's see if they want to trade for a Firebrand. Fine by me. And we'll go and play the Hunter of Dinosaurs, which blocks Hammer Skull very well, and also attacks as a 4 power guy that kills dinos. Although Hammer Skull can block this. Ooh, Needletooth Raptor. That's problematic. That is a heck of a card. And they now have the City's Blessing. So let's see what happens here. Means I can't attack them as well anymore because of this thing. And Impale is really my only out to killing it without dealing damage to it. Don't want to Firebrand it. Like if I attack with this and this, they block Dinosaur Hunter, they get to take out the Hunter plus this thing or even one of my blockers. Any lands I draw are going to go away instantaneously. Alright, non-land. Bravado, ooh. How do I feel about Bravado? Kind of like keeping this back on defense until I find an answer to Needle Tooth or get another good creature on board. Yeah, I can't really just bite the bullet and let him start attacking me for 5 here. I don't get in enough damage that way. They probably also just block here. And if this gets through, it's dealing 4. This would make it 10 damage. I can deal 11 to them if they let it through. I think I'm just going to sit tight for a while. I have a little bit of advantage with Gateway, but my opponent's starting to look like they might be able to overpower me if I don't start adding to the board as well. All it takes from the opponent is a way to deal damage to this, or like maybe they have one of these of their own. Mutiny. Have my guy deal damage to my other guy. Have this deal 2 damage to this. I guess I can pump it in response and just make sure it survives. Yeah, that's not bad. It'll do 2 damage, but it'll survive and it'll have double strike, so opponent can attack with Needle Raptor, sure. Actually, if they attack with Needle Raptor, I'm a little happier about it, because then I might just trade off my Neckbreaker. Ooh, if I draw my Needle Raptor, though... Let's see if they make that attack. Kind of sad I got rid of this. Be very good against my opponent, I think. Not bad. Alright, that could actually do quite a bit here, so... Maybe I go for the attack now I was just talking about. Let them trade off like my Hunter and my Neckbreaker. For this, though... And if they want to throw anything else in front of this, it just dies. Like, they would have to, in order to not lose 2 creatures, they'd have to just let these both through. And I think I'm at the point where I want to do that before they draw something that deals damage to this and just combos. I can't really send the other creatures in. I guess I can send in Firebrand, right? It is a pirate, correct? Because if I do, that either eats another creature or it just gets in 3 free damage, right? Yeah, I like sending the Firebrand in here. If they want to trade a creature for that, I'm actually pretty happy with it. So Needletooth Raptor is going to at least 2-for-1 myself and take out my 2 best creatures. And then we'll see whether this trades or just lets it in. Yeah, this is kind of what I expect. 8 damage. It's still a big chunk. And then Arsonist comes down. They sack a land. I've got a 4/4 threatening them. They're still going to have to trade another creature for this. Granted, it's going to trade for stupid Snubhorn Sentry. But that makes all my removal good. I still have this Arsonist, so I could actually trade both of them for both of these. That's false. I can't do that. Alright, so Raptor's going to go ahead and ruin my day here. Take out my 5/2. And we get to put a 4/4 on board. So any removal spell now is fantastic. And the sack trigger here doesn't matter too much. This is a good game. I want to say we're ahead, but we're really not like that far ahead. Like if they remove this now, I'm in trouble. Gateway's looking pretty good here. It just means that this is the point of the game where I think Gateway would be good, whereas Treasure Map's good earlier. But any lands I draw are just going to go away and improve the quality of my draws. I've already filtered, I have 6, 7, 8 lands out of the deck already, so 8 more. But only 2 cards with different permanents. Oh, I like that. It says exiled cards have CMC 0 and 5. Well, I just need a 1, 2, 3, or 4 drop. And then I have 17 mana, which would be really good if I had one of these. Okay. Draw. Ooh, actually. So now I can go for that play. I can play Raptor, deal 5, or deal 1 to it, and then take out, I guess, Snubhorn Sentry. Hammer Skull is a better card, but Snubhorn does more damage on defense. Yeah, that was a good draw. Let's play it. Just go ahead and do this right now. If they kill it in response, that'd be pretty bad. They thought a while on their turn. I think I'm actually going to take out Hammer Skull. If they have a combat trick, it gets me regardless of which creature I leave on board. And Hammer Skull is the more threatening creature. Alright. The all-star of this matchup has been our Needletooth Raptors. I think my opponent's deck is very good. Alright, down to 2. I already used Lightning Strike, right? I have. Now I can actually start attacking with Raptor 2. And they have to have something here. Bravado should definitely do it. Now I can attack with everything. Even if they have Trick, I use Bravado on this guy and deal the last bit of damage. I guess they could still have the gain 2 life thing, and that kind of messes plans up, but... Divine Verdict, right? No, something else. 3 mana, white, red spell. Oh, it is Divine Verdict. Alright. This still has to block here, and I'm still going to go for Bravado here. Just to try and win right now. And if they have another trick, they get me. Or if they can gain life. If not, we trade our boards. Nice. That was pretty back and forth. I like this matchup. We'll have to definitely consider things when we're thinking about what to play, though. So they only showed us actually one toughness, one creature that has 1 toughness. So I'm not a big fan of these 1 damage spells. Fathom Fleet Cutthroat could be pretty good. In fact, I think this is going to be decent. It's good if I like run into Needletooth Raptor or something. I don't know. What I want to do is take out anything that's just not going to affect the board, because I need to be constantly affecting the board, I think. Most of my cards look good in this matchup, and Azor's Gateway was actually really good. Maybe I just leave things. Gleam Barrier actually seems like it could be okay. Also kind of a dud against a lot of stuff, but maybe I just don't bring it in. Maybe I don't bring in anything here. Villages are okay against aggressive decks. Get your last 2 cards out of your hand. Not as good if I'm under a lot of pressure. Fell Flagship seems okay. Oh, all my cards just seem okay here. Dinosaur Hunters. I really don't want to cut the 2 drops, though. I could cut Gateway, but it was very, very good there. Divine Verdict. Alright, I'm just going to leave the deck as is for right now. I don't really want to bring in Gleam Barrier against somebody who has Hammer Skulls and Needletooth Raptor. Alright, solid hand. No 1-drop, but we get to go 2-drop and back it up with either removal or Bravado. Ooh, Sky Marcher Aspirant. I'm going to kill that right away, I think. I just don't want to trade 2 damage on 1 damage. And I'm not going to hold it up for any sort of nonsense. If I go, like, do it in combat and they pump it, that's so bad for me. So just take it out right now. Firebrand looking decent here. This is a good card. I like my opponent's deck. White-Red Ascend. You wouldn't think of an Ascend deck having a bunch of little aggressive creatures, but that's what my opponent has, so should have definitely played Swamp there, being a little too hasty. Okay, so no red mana from the opponent is what we're seeing here. I don't mind drawing lands here, but I do get to back up this guy. I would have loved to put another creature on. Oh no, I just skipped through combat. I just skipped through combat. That just happened. All right. Alright, opponent should be at 18. You know, you can't even say that. Let's see if this gets Divine Verdicted. I'd be okay with that. Just suck to not get value out of it. Freebooter's pretty good here, too. My opponent's got to have just a pile of red cards in their hand. Got a text message. Alright, so now we're going to deploy some threats. Although their hand is a pile of red cards. Alright, well I can attack through that. Can also play Arsonist this turn. But Freebooter doesn't get to really attack. Don't want to Fire Cannon. If I Fire Cannon blast it, they only get to kill one of my guys. Ooh, that's actually much better. So, actually that was almost an ideal draw. They could have Sheltering Light here to stop that. I'd be okay with it. But now I get to attack for 5. I could actually make this 10 damage, put my opponent at 8, but I don't like that idea. I'm imagining if my opponent didn't play anything for the first, 3 turns, that they have all red cards, which means if they don't draw another mountain, they're not going to be able to put more than one threat out at a time. Unless, of course, they draw white creatures. Then it's kind of whatever. This does not block particularly well against my 3/3. So I like where this is going. I think I'm just going to keep playing lands for right now. I have 7 mana, so I can go Arsonist plus Bravado if I need to blow the Bravado here. I'm still kind of expecting a Divine Verdict on something. I would rather them use it on one of these two than use it on my 4/4, since 4/4 matches up very well in this format. Little Trailblazer doing work. Do you guys remember Eldritch Moon? There was a card called Deranged Whelp. It was the same exact thing as this, but it was uncommon. The fact that this is a common is pretty neat. Uh-oh, this looks like Combat Trick to me. Is it like a +2/+2 and gain 2? So I do think I'm going to go Bravado now. Keep my guy on board. Kill their creature. So I kill their creature and trade Trick for Trick. I don't get the big power boost off Bravado, and they net even on life this turn, but I also don't really need this treasure anymore, so I'm happy just saying hello Arsonist, which is going to take out a land. Oh, I'm in damage. Oh, that was first strike damage. Yep, alright. This does make it a little harder for them to cast 2 spells in one turn if they're losing to planes here. I have Fire Cannon Blast to back it up. Alright, opponent's in trouble now. Yep, more red threats. Ooh, 5-drop. So 5 toughness. This could be like the Imperial gain 2 when it takes damage. Ceratops, is that what it's called? Opponent's deck looks very good. I think I've said that multiple times, but I don't think they have good removal, though. I like this card way better than Snubhorn Sentry. Yeah, this is uncommon, so it makes sense, but Snubhorn Sentry is very bad until you actually get to Ascend, whereas this is still just very good in a format like this, even before you get Ascend. So, something died. They bombarded at sorcery speed. Alright, that's fine. Now I'm going to keep mountains in my hand in case I draw Azor's Gateway. I have stuff to pitch to it. Whereas if I draw like March of the Drowned, it's better to play my mountains. March of the Drowned would be great here. Uh-oh, 6-drop Pterodon? I can attack straight through that. Oh, and Mutiny to kill off this guy. Alright, that's respectable. My opponent is out of cards now. Some more creatures would be good. Don't really care for these. I think I'd just attack and Fire Blast that. Not too threatened by it, but there's potential they just draw lands on their following turn, and then I get to start dealing 3. And then there's also the chance that if I kill this turn, they draw nothing, I draw my other Bravado, I get to just kill them straight up. Alright, Fire Cannon Blast is going to hit this. The 6 damage isn't going to matter because 3 would still kill it. And this is kind of a free attack anyway. There's like a very small percentage chance that they don't actually block. And I get 3 free points of damage in, but they're at the point where they're 100% blocking. Alright, I have tons of good draws left. I also have 8 lands left in my deck, so. And I'm kind of down to Bombard as my last removal spell. No, I have Lightning Strike still in my deck too. Alright. It didn't show us very many creatures that can actually rumble with a 3/3 very well. They could draw like Pterodon Knight here or a number of other cards. Also, if they have any additional mutinies, they don't work while I only have 1 creature on board, which is nice. Best draws for me would be March of the Drowned, Azur's Gateway, Fell Flagship. Flagship would turn this into a 2-turn clock. Bravado is probably the best draw. Dinosaur Hunter is a card I can put on the battlefield. Probably one of my worst non-land draws, but still, any pressure is pressure. Also, Dinosaur Hunter is incidentally just good against my opponent. Like, this is good against Snubhorn Sentry. Alright, now they have to have something or I kill them in combat. With the Needle Tooth. Let's see if they have something here before we go playing another creature on board. Alright, we got it. Cool. Pretty back and forth there. Our opponent kept a risky hand that had, I imagine, a ton of red cards, an Aspirant, a plane, and a couple planes, and they just didn't hit the red source on time. But, I mean, look at the red cards they played. They were good. They just didn't get to that red source on time, and I was able to start dealing a bunch of damage. Also, drawing that Firebrand and the Impale at the time I did was pretty nice, so good top decks here. We're in the finals. I'll see you guys for match 3. Hey guys, Timothy here for match 3 of this Rivals of Ixalan draft. Got a pretty good open in hand. I like Dinosaur Hunter into Deadeye Tormentor if we get a fair attack. This is the first match that we're not actually on the play, so let's see if if Pirates can still do the trick. Also, Border ought to be good. Alright, no 1-drop from the opponent. Always nice in this format. Actually feels like you're pretty far behind when the opponent plays a turn 1 creature in this format. Usually, like the blue decks, they have that little 1/1 unblockable Merfolk thing. A Raptor Hatchling is kind of annoying. Might jam Dinosaur Hunter into it, to be honest. Since I can kind of deal with a 3/3 if I need to, but let's see what the opponent plays first. Not Tillinelli's Knight. Alright. Alright. Yeah, if I attack with Dinosaur Hunter, they for sure block with this, so I might actually just play this 3/3 here. And say go. My opponent missed a land drop. Opponent's doing that a lot lately. I'm gonna guess this is red-white again. Creatures deal more to them than they're dealing to me, but Flagship's just better if I have more pirates. I think I'm just gonna take the 3 here. And then maybe play Flagship if I have to. Tormentor looks decent here when they're mana screwed, but they're low enough aggro deck, I guess, that they can still play stuff. This looks like Mutiny. Have this deal 3 to that. Yep. Okay, that's not bad for them. Alright, drawing these lands is kind of annoying. I think I am going to take a hit here, but I do like getting the Tormentor down. Like, there's no way this doesn't just block, right? Yep. And take 6 on my next turn. I could bombard that thing right away to not take 6 damage, and also I don't even know what I was going for with the also. I would take 2 instead. Then I still get to probably play Tormentor next turn. Kind of like that, actually, because getting rid of their dino means that Tillinelli's Knight's not hitting as hard either. Alright. We'll bombard you with questions. See if they hit their third land now. Yep, they got it. Hard to believe that they're mono red. I've yet to see a monocolored deck in this format, but at least that means they unlock another part of their hand here. Hopefully something that doesn't block a 3/3. Ooh, Bravado. Flagship might be better to get down here. Deal 4 to them this turn. I can always go Flagship plus Bravado next turn and have another Pirate on board. Yeah, I like that. If they go for like a Lightning Strike here, well, if they have Bombard, this is bad. But if they have Lightning Strike or something, I would probably Bravado just to hit them. And at least this way I get another card out of their hand. See if they discard something of a different color here. They might. Like a double costed card. Ooh, Stormfleet Pyromancer. It's actually pretty good against me too. Do you attack? If so, I might block. Ooh, this is going to be a good turn. Play Fell Flagship, play Firebrand. This attacks as a 2-power guy, and I can jam with everything. This could trade for, like, Tormentor, but I still have Bravado up as well. I get to play just everything here. I like this. I like this lots. And let's jam. The only thing they can't currently trade for is Border. So they're taking minimum 5 this turn if they have nothing. End block. Could deal 10, 11, 12 to them, but no, I like that trade. I wonder what their other color is. I'm assuming it's white with Tillinelli's Knight, but ooh, if they have nothing, I'm going to start flagshipping them now too. Good draw. Fortunately, this is crew 3. So I think it's worth crewing this to just get more cards out of their hand instead of dealing... Oh, plus I'll deal 1 more damage this turn anyway. I could go for the win too off Fathom Fleet Border. Let's see if they go for anything here. I'm not going to go for the win this turn. I want to see another card off of them potentially. So whenever it hits them, they discard a card. Have not seen that be relevant too often. Aggressive Urge. All right, so red-green, just aggro combat tricks probably. They are in exceptional trouble now, though. Since all of my creatures are lethal with Bravado, which they don't know I have Bravado, but if they know the format, they can guess. And we just won that to our opponent being mana screwed. What did we see from the opponent? We saw Tillinelli's Knight. We saw Raptor, which isn't really what I want to be bringing in Shake the Foundations for. Buccaneers Bravado. God, Bravado's so good. I should probably just be playing the third one this whole time. It is that good. It's like exceptional. It's also good against somebody who's going to be playing combat tricks of their own. But like I said, I don't want to get flooded on combat tricks, and I think my removal's good enough. So I'm just going to ship as is. If I see more 1-drops, I'll try to bring in more things. How do we feel about this hand? I really like the idea of Trailblazer into Fell Flagship, but we'll see if our opponent can actually deploy more threats this time. Nice one. Nice follow-up. The cool thing about Mutiny, it's a very strong card for 1 mana, but it also means, like, if your opponent plays Mutiny against you or if you suspect it, you're never going to lose your biggest guy. Or at least you're usually not going to lose your biggest guy. All right, Trailblazer coming down. Blazing a trail. Or whatever. Looks like it's dying. Oh, no. They're on their turn. I thought they were on my end step. Nothing from the opponent yet? Alright, so options here. I could play Flagship, have it available to attack next turn. Or I could just put another pirate on the board. Kind of like just playing the border here. As tempting as it is to start trying and eating cards out of their hand, I imagine they're going to be playing something that gets rid of it. They're just taking damage. Alright, and any lands would be great here. 3 mana, 3/3 Pirate's good. Does lose you some life sometimes, but that's okay. Alright, the problem here is that their hand is probably like a bunch of clunky creatures that block mine pretty well. So I gotta be a little careful. Bravado's good at getting over clunky creatures. Thrasher Raptors I'm not too worried about either. Alright, lands? Just want to hit lands here. Am I okay trading this for that? Not really. I think I'm going to play Flagship and just attack for 3 this turn. Might trade Flagship off for this thing. Can't Impale. I can go double Bravado, which would be 8, 14 damage. I'm serious when I say this card is good. Let this matchup be a lesson. Oh, I didn't even play the Flagship. I'm so bad at, like, what am I doing right now? That's the second time I've failed to make a correct attack by either not attacking with this or getting in the extra point of damage. It does matter. It does matter. Especially since I'm going to play this anyway. Kind of gross. If they play a Dino here and attack for 5, I'm just going to take it. If they go for a removal spell on this thing, I'm going to crew in response, and then I'll think about just putting Flagship in front of Thrasher Raptors. In fact, I might do that anyway. Last thing I want him to do is build out a huge board and then get me with removal spells and just a huge amount of damage on board. This could be a pounce or something. Ooh, Naturalize? That's pretty solid. They brought that in against me. I doubt they're main decking it. Did I? I showed them Fell Flagship in round 1, game 1. And Savage Stomp? Now this is a beating. And I missed that point of damage. Alright, well this is getting bombarded, hands down. If I draw a Black Source, I'll Impale it instead. No, I might. Nah, I'll probably Impale anyway. Alright. The benefit of using Bravado here, or Bombard, is that I get to keep up Bravado. I could potentially just deal 6 to my opponent. The advantage of using Impale is that I get to do both of these next turn. So, also, I think I'm going to go Bombard because Impale does just kill any big thing they can put in my way. They play a 5 toughness creature. I don't have an answer for it anymore, right? Alright, and the 1 extra point of damage is going to matter. I could also just blow a Bravado on this thing right now to deal 6, but I don't think that's what I want to do yet. Missing a point of damage is bad. Also, they just play 1 creature. I don't have to do much of anything yet. Do I want to Impale a 3/3? Probably not. Ooh. I only have 1 creature so far, so I'm going to hold on to this. Do I want to Impale this? I don't think so, but I do think I'm at the point where I just want to throw out a Bravado. I can play this and replay it. No, I'm going to sit tight. If I Impale this, it makes it almost guaranteed that I'm going to be able to attack again next turn unless they use that treasure to play a second creature. I don't really like the idea of Impaling a 3/3. Going to do it anyway, though. I do have them on a two-turn clock with these 2 cards that they don't know about. So they either need to get rid of this or deploy multiple threats on the board. If they put multiple creatures out, I can use this to kind of trade 2 for 1 potentially. It'd be 2 for 2 if I lose my guy, but 3-power double striker is no big, or nothing to like slouch at. Alright, now I'm interested to see if they put a second creature on the board. And if they kill this, I have March of the Drown for the full amount here. I am going to play this mountain. And if they don't block, I think I am going to Bravado here. It's risky. They could have Pounce. They could have a bunch of things. Lightning Strike, Bombard. But if they have nothing this turn, it's very likely they don't have anything next turn. Yeah, it's risky to just throw this out. Let's see if I get in the 6, though. I do. Nice. It's a big hit. It is a big hit. Do they attack, though? Ooh, they do attack. Huh. All right. So they're planning on dealing with this somehow. Probably just remove it from the board. Grazing Whiptail. That or they're not playing around a second Bravado. They're just going to put another... Well, they can't mutiny me. Reckless Rage. Okay. That's respectable. Ooh, Neckbreaker. Alright, so I think this turn I get back my 2 Pirates and replay them. Then next turn I can go Neckbreaker plus Bravado. Get back Trailblazer and Border. I have to play the Trailblazer first so that I don't take 2. My opponent does have 7 power on board. Okay. And we pass here. I just need to get 1 pirate through and Bravado will do the trick. Plus I'm going to play Neckbreaker next turn, so my guys are going to be able to attack straight through things. This potentially a 5 power double striker means that if they go for a double block, they get killed, right? Or at least they lose enough creatures that it's bad for them. But they have 3 cards in hand, 2 cards. We're going to see a big one here. Alright, Fire Cannon blast that guy. It's pretty good. And do they attack? If they attack, they gotta have another creature. I'm certainly not blocking this thing. Alright, they do attack. What's the last card in your hand? Creature of some sorts. Swaggering Corsair. Alright, so if I attack with this out, and then I Bravado, 5 power double striker is going to be able to take this out. It's going to be able to take out both things, but I lose my guy. And then it's just Neckbreaker versus Frillback. Going to keep the Swamp in hand now. Alternatively, I can wait a turn. If they attack again, then I'm going to get one of my guys through. I can also use Bravado on defense. But if I use Bravado on defense, I don't get to kill my opponent, right? Or actually, depends on how they attack, what they attack with. So it might be correct. Huh. This is kind of tough. Do I keep this back on defense, or do I trade this and this for these 2 creatures and then trade these 2 off? It's kind of an interesting play there. There's also a chance they don't block and I get to just kill them with the Trailblazer. I think I'm going to go for the Trailblazer attack. And I assume they're blocking since this is 4 power already. Oh no, they said no blocks? Alright, get them. Deal 10 to you. And the message that I didn't get to read. Cool! Pirates doing well for me. My 2 trophies are both out of Pirates decks. Blue-red Pirates and black-red Pirates. Bravado is incredibly strong. Just keep that in mind moving forward. If your opponent is in very dedicated Pirate deck and they've got 2 mana open, you could just die out of nowhere. +1/+1 and double strike for 2 mana is no joke. But anyway, very happy with this, obviously. I'm always happy when I get a trophy. I appreciate you guys hanging around. And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, or anything you want to say about Rivals of Ixalan, let me know. I do think it is better than Triple Ixalan, but still fairly aggressive. I mean, look at the 3 decks I played against, just all aggro decks going back and forth. But because there's more removal in the set, there's more interaction going on. You don't just get crushed, so you don't have to open like specifically lightning strikes to keep up. There's cards like Bombard and Impale to take care of different sizable threats at different points. But anyway, Red Black Pirates wins it. My name's Timothy. Thank you guys for watching here at Mana Rocks, and I will see you guys next time for more Rivals of Ixalan. All right, bye-bye.